YUNKJunk!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a podcast that is unnamed at the moment. We're waiting for our fourth can't make it. So Zach and I, in double vision, are going to talk through some titles of this potential show. Zach Tone, you are up.
Hey, buddy. You know what? I think we should have a set intro for you as well. Also, I don't like when I can't see you.
Yep. I've got that figured out.
Cool. Three of me is far. It's too much. I like that the little intro you were just kind of riffing there. I think maybe that would be a good kind of like, rolling credits Star Wars thing where we're gonna be like, or each week we fucking debate, what the topic of this podcast should be.
Sure.
And we could zhuzh it up and forever moving forward but never getting closer kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And have just like a little set thing, to intro the show.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of, what we were talking about right before we came on and then kind of go into it. But we don't want the show to just be that. Cole's trying to call me for some reason. Maybe he needs to be admitted into the Zoom. Am I right on that, Dylan? Okay, cool. Alrighty. So welcome, Cole. We're just trying to figure out what the name of the show is. We threw out both sides, as if it's both sides of the argument. And then Zach had some notes. That's not a bad title. Zach has notes.
I love that. In fact,
I like it.
That makes me tingle.
I prefer Cole has notes.
I bet you would.
Zac and Cole can have notes on Terry's podcast. No.
I actually hate that.
Terry's podcast?
I hate it.
Yeah. Currently it's What Is This Podcast starring Terry, Cole, Zach, and Luke.
What is this? I like what is this.
Yeah, just what is this?
So we're gonna need to talk to my agent featuring Cole. You guys can do whatever with featuring Cole.
Featuring Cole. That's again not a bad name for a solo podcast. Just called featuring Cole.
One and Zac and Cole at the end. You know how like in the movie credits when there's an elder statesman, higher stature, they always put the last and put hand.
So Dylan made the thumbnail.
So wait. This is actually something that piques my interest when I'm in the beginning in the title sequence. At the end, that's a different conversation. But in the beginning, in the title sequence, when it says like featuring or with, sometimes it says with.
Yeah.
Like, their agents had something to do with like talking to the producers, how does that work? I don't know, like the mechanics behind that.
I think there's actual like rules because I know with writing credit, and maybe this is different because this is just listing who's in the movie, but with writing credit, there's set like SAG rules where depending on how many people wrote the screenplay or if it's adapted, if it's more than two people, like
what's SAG?
SAG is
Screen Actors Guild.
Oh,
the Writers Union.
Writers.
No, that's the Actors Union. I'm sorry, but
Screen
Writers Guild. Anyways,
is WAG. SAG and WAG.
Hey, are either of you part of any unions?
Mm-mm.
I'm not. I'm eligible. I just don't make enough money. It doesn't make sense.
I'm a part of a songwriters union.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
What do you get?
BMI. I get like $35 every other month.
Oh,
cool.
But that's I actually did my thing though. I actually I earned it. There was a time where I was making like $300 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I should have been making way more. I still should be making way more, but
You have to pay.
it is what it is.
It's true.
But
Let's see that.
here's what I will say though, on the flip side of that coin, like the unions. So now I'm managing a music venue, and we have to pay ASCAP and BMI to just play Spotify, right? Or to just have cover bands play. So if I book a cover band, no matter what I pay them, I have to pay as the business manager, I have to pay ASCAP and BMI a set fee every month for these cover bands to play songs that they didn't write. But the cover bands never, ever have to pay the songwriters' unions.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Was it?
Well, because one's probably one's
So
one
the venues have to pay, but the cover bands don't have to pay.
the cover band doesn't have
No,
to
the cover
pay
bands
the songwriters union.
No.
But
cover
like the jukeboxes that are in every bar, do they pay the
Yeah.
songwriters, or do they just pay
Yeah.
whoever owns
Yes.
the label?
Yes. So jukeboxes, that's an easy way out, for a venue to not to decide to not, you're going to have to pay the songwriters unions more if you decide to let your bartenders play Spotify, right? So if you have a jukebox, it's cheaper. There's only a set, a few hundred songs that you can play. But say you walk into Target, say you walk in the, Price Chopper, or what's your Price Chopper over there, Terry?
Not important.
What's your Price Chopper in LA?
Ralph.
Right? So you walk in there, every time you come in there, I'm sure you hear the same songs over and over. Or if you go shopping, if you go, to H&M, you're going to hear a playlist that H&M has, because they're not paying the songwriters unions. They're given these playlists. So if you're running a music venue and you have cover bands that come and play, you have to pay the songwriters unions. But the cover bands that are too lazy to write and perform their own fucking songs don't have to pay a dime. That's always been a pet peeve of mine forever.
So
welcome back, Terry.
thank you. Now I was looking for a solution to an issue, but it wasn't readily handy. I can rig them up, but I'm gonna wait on it.
What is this room that I can see with the wires just flowing out of the
Do we have the wide
Mission Impossible style?
Oh, you're looking behind the scenes at Dylan's right there. Yeah, there's his hand. So yeah, that I was gonna make an adjustment, but it would take me a minute to do. So I'm gonna wait on it and do it another time. But I'm gonna solve the problem of you guys seeing the program feed instead of just a feed of me, just to make it a little easier on you.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. It doesn't bother me one bit.
I'd like to see everybody's face equally.
No, I like when somebody's talking. When somebody's taking the stage, I like, what Dylan. I like what you're doing. But so I want to ask you guys this. I was thinking this week about.
It's not gonna be about jukeboxes, is it?
No. I was thinking about It's Always Sunny, my girlfriend was asking me like, why were there so few episodes of It's Always Sunny this season? You know, the
last couple seasons.
there were what were there only like 6 episodes, right?
8.
8. The last episode was amazing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. My favorite was the bowling one.
I know that was your favorite. That was good.
The bowling was incredible.
Everything that you need is inside of you.
No, that's the Russia one. That one's incredible.
Oh, that was yeah.
But when they go bowling, I loved because it just felt like old school Sunny, like no gimmick. It's just the characters, you know.
Well, so you and I talked about the last episode. Dennis needs a mental health day.
Yeah, that was great.
You told me when I texted you about it, you're like, well, they realize Dennis is the best thing they have going.
Easily.
Like, just give him his own episode.
Yo, I saw he's in the running to play Lex Luthor, Terry.
He should after Blackberry, dude. I mean, Blackberry was so good, guys. Like, I really love that movie.
FOMO.
I gave it 4
There you
stars.
go. There you go. So if you want to, anybody can kind of hide that one picture if it's bothering them, the actual show feed. So I just kind of set it up so I have a feed and then there's a show feed. But yes, I think he'd be a great Lex Luthor. I mean, the way that guy freaks out is the best that there is. I mean, that's what you want, is that angry, over the top. When he's smashing that phone in the in Blackberry, he's just smashing a payphone over and over and over with such a rage that I mean, that's what you want in a supervillain. Did you know he was almost Star-Lord? It was down to him and Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's cool.
Although Chris Pratt was perfect for that role, though.
Yeah, obviously.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I can't agree more.
James Gunn, though. Like, he has a very good track record with casting. So, look, if he's thinking about Glenn Howerton as Lex Luthor and the new DC film universe, come on.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because if he was his number 2 casting choice for Guardians, why wouldn't you take your number 2 casting choice as your lead for the next 3 movies and put him in Superman? You know?
It was a very different role.
Lex Luthor, like, honestly, that's kind of a vague role to begin with, though, too. You know, besides the comics and besides the cartoons, in the movies, I don't think it's ever been done well.
Wasn't Gene Hackman?
Yeah, the original Gene Hackman.
Like, that wasn't a good, like,
It's a little goofy.
Yeah, and then what's his name?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. He's a good actor, but that's not Lex Luthor.
Great actor.
I liked what he was doing at the time. I liked that it was a tech billionaire who was going to go down this path. I just think it never manifested. I mean, that's what happens when you steal someone's creative control out from under them when you're in the middle of something. But yeah, I mean, I think my Lex is Superman the Animated Series Lex. He was very big, like Superman size, big, strong, bald, and scary.
Well, yeah. So maybe Glenn Howerton might not be that Lex Luthor.
Yeah. There's one on. Do you watch the Harley Quinn show on HBO?
I have been, yeah.
That one is that one's the dude from Breaking Bad. Giancarlo Esposito is that Lex Luthor, which is right on.
Yeah. And the animated character is like a big, like, mixed race guy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, Giancarlo Esposito, like, talk about villains, you know, and The Boys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, supposedly, is he Professor X?
He's dead.
Did he get cast as Professor X or Magneto? I think he's one of them.
He's dead.
No, Giancarlo Esposito.
No, he's not.
He just died.
No.
Giancarlo Esposito is very much with us. Not a bad segment trying to trick people into someone being dead.
2 episodes in a row, you're canceled.
He's fucking dead. I'm not. It's not a bit. I don't know what the funny part of that is. He's just a dead person.
He's not
No,
a
he's
dead
not.
person.
Breaking Bad?
Yeah, the wheelchair guy.
No.
Oh,
The fucking chicken guy.
El Pollo Loco.
Yeah. Who's in a wheel? Oh, right, that guy.
Wow. You're talking about the guy that was in like Scorsese movies and stuff. That dude was in Californication.
Yeah, he was his
He
dad.
played Hank's dad. Yeah.
He was in The
That's a great
Mandalorian.
episode.
He was
I love Cal.
he was the big bad in The Mandalorian last season.
Man, okay.
Actually, every season in The Mandalorian.
We gotta call Luke.
So he can call Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if I call my dad, he's gonna think it's an emergency.
Yeah. Oh, not the fucking fuckhead son.
There's a shot and a half.
The one that doesn't have a kid was
Well, so if we how can we call Luke and he can still be on the phone?
Three-way.
I
Just
don't
merge
know.
the call.
Luke's a dad, he can figure it out.
I didn't know Luke was a dad until like he said I have to watch the baby. And I was like, whose baby?
Yeah.
When did you get a baby?
It's crazy.
Cole, that's a great Photoshop job, by the way.
You like that? See that?
All right, let's try and add some substance here.
By the way, Terry, I spent way too much time on that Photoshop job.
Any period of
How
time.
much time did you spend? Is that plus an hour?
At least an hour, at least.
Okay.
Because look around him. Look at that. I cut that out.
Yeah. You got to do a little just some simple object removal and then copy paste, drag down.
Dude,
You go into select.
Photoshop, man. I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I think that looks fun. I wish you drew a little baby hand like on top of the Frank Drake so it looked like he was holding a little sign.
I did the baby
Oh,
pushing me away.
All right, so we talked about unions. We covered comic book like all of my nerdy podcasts.
fucking jukebox.
Always
machine.
Sunny, jukeboxes. It's probably time for one-word impressions.
No.
One-word impressions.
I have so many concerns about where this podcast is headed.
I mean, we're figuring it out.
Hey,
That's
Terry,
the name of episode 1, figuring it out.
Listen, guys. I'm on your side in the group chat. I don't even want anyone to listen until we're fucking 30 episodes in.
I mean, they're not gonna. It's just about us getting the reps. Yeah, they're not gonna. So, like, that's the thing is no one's paying attention. I'm gonna watch the view count for you. If it gets over 5, I'll flag it because then, one person who's not us watched it. We gotta panic. We gotta shut it down.
A half hour ago, my boss hit me up. How's the podcast going?
Did you tell him once this thing hits, I'm out?
I know.
Did you prematurely quit?
Yeah, once I get that BetterHelp money, those fucking
I said we
sleep
have
number money.
what we're doing. He goes, any comments yet? I go, thank God there's no comments.
They're coming. I mean, they're gonna start going out. But no, I promise you, all we're doing is leveraging algorithms so that by the time we hit episode 15, a stranger might see it.
Yeah.
This is the point of the podcast, though.
Yeah, we just gotta keep. It's if we're diligent and keep doing it, it'll begin to shape itself.
Yeah. I really think we need to hone more on the central theme of
Yeah, I want to talk about
figuring out
music.
what the show is and then letting the tangents come from that.
Well,
Instead of
Listen, motherfuckers, I'm the one that's bringing up the topics to talk to you guys about film and TV shows. None of you motherfuckers are asking me or Luke about music. Come on, use us.
I want to hear your best Jay-Z impression in one word.
Oh, boy. Crazy.
It's just like a record.
She just went crazy.
Zach, what do you got?
Jay-Z's real hard to do.
You know who's great at him? Aries Spears. Used to be on Mad TV back in the day.
You know,
He
he's
just
dead too.
He's not dead.
He is. He's that big black comedian who died.
Yeah.
no. That's not Aries Spears.
Yeah, big black comedians die all the
No.
time.
Is
No.
Bruce still with us? Remember
No,
Bruce?
dead.
Bruce was awesome.
Dead as
Bruce.
You don't even know.
fuck. Dead as fuck.
Bruce actually, he had a joke that killed me back in the day. He's like, I had an uncle at the cookout. Like, he was not a good comedian. Like, he's not good.
What?
But no, he was not good. But he had a joke that just like it killed me. He's like, I have one uncle at a cookout that the way that he laughed without smiling. Do you remember that joke?
I do remember that joke. I think that's the same uncle that he said would put like a cigarette on his mouth and it would like go like while he's talking because it would be like sticking all the way out. I love Bruce Bruce. He had an interaction with Tom Segura on a plane.
You remember the landslide? It's a landslide.
No.
It's from It's Always Sunny.
Oh yeah, he was Landslide the comedian.
Broke D.
Yeah.
There was a guy that used to say hamburger after everything he said.
That guy's dead.
Yeah.
What, you think everyone's dead?
Who's actually dead? How many people do you think are dead?
A
That's
lot more
an
people than
interesting
are
question.
alive. A lot
Like-
more people than are alive.
80
True.
billion. 80 billion people have died.
Most people are dead
Yeah.
True.
in the
think-
history of mankind.
I looked it up once because I think it's like 80 billion people have died.
How many people are in the world? 4?
7.
8 billion.
Yeah.
8 billion.
Yeah.
And half of them are in China.
Yeah.
Half of us.
Half of the people.
Half of they.
Half of the people. So it's 80 billion that are dead that
Give or
we
take.
know.
Give or take.
Give or take what?
How many
give or take.
dinosaurs were around?
Well, I think it's 80 billion because we were.
What about Jesus?
Well, they
Is he
weren't.
part of-
They weren't counting like cave people who are fighting saber-toothed tigers and stuff. Because like it
They're-
wasn't math then.
They're not Homo sapiens, so they don't matter.
Some of them were.
Yeah.
I'm sure Homo sapien.
I like Homo sapiens.
What was that?
It's Jay-Z.
So the one thing that does kind of tie us all together is the fact that
Love.
we've been
We're
making
missing
each
We're
other.
missing right now.
Yeah, but we've been making each other cry laughing since we were 5. That's kind of the glue of what makes this is literally, I think you guys are the funniest people I've ever been around. I mean, the hardest I ever laughed was definitely around Zach. I mean, ever, like gut busting, crying on the floor, like laughter. Do you remember, dude?
Shit. Man, it's hilarious for the other person.
What's that? Oh,
Terry's
the
made me
classic.
My pants twice in my life. I didn't laugh nearly as hard as Terry did.
Well,
That's
so
why
no,
you're-
Terry, don't sell yourself short. So I will say, like, I don't laugh that often. I really don't. When the 3 of us are hanging out, we're talking, or like one of either of you, like when we're hanging out, when someone says something funny, I'll just like nod my head. Yeah. I get it. That's funny. Right?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But
Like an
what I will
acknowledgement.
say- yes. So what I will say, like, to the 2 of you, I'm jealous of like especially I mean both of you, but like Zach, you have a really good laugh. You know, like you gotta cackle. You have a giggle that you do. It's
Mhm.
like a little high pitch. Uh, and I've kind of adapted it. You know, I've kind of used it.
You stole my
Uh,
laugh.
yeah, a little bit. I have. Yeah. But Terry, yours is more of like the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, but I think we're all kind of those laughs are kind of like pity laughs. You know what I mean?
Not all
I
the
think
time.
I think it's the same thing as your acknowledgement of the head nod.
yeah.
Like I'll laugh. That deserves a laugh.
I'm not too cool to laugh. I'll laugh.
So I laugh. But what really gets me like a belly laugh is slapstick. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
Like fart, a loud fart that'll get me. Like
Oh
I
my
will
God.
fucking.
That kid farting in Oppenheimer as the timer went
Yeah.
off. Funniest clip I've
Yo,
ever
come
seen in my
on.
life.
Dude, I mean, Zach and I were in track in middle school, and the coaches were like, if anyone makes another sound or says anything, you're getting sent home. Immediately I farted, and Zach just goes, Terry, and coach goes, out of here. And Zach's like, he farted. And he's like, out of here. Zach's like, I'm leaving because of a fart. This is ridiculous. And then Zach got sent home. I still remember that. That was like 7th grade.
I think it was Louis C.K., a wise man, that once said, "You something along the lines of you don't have to have a good sense of humor to laugh at a fart, but if you don't laugh at a fart, you don't have a sense of humor."
Fair.
That makes sense.
There's nothing funnier in the world.
It's a sound that comes out of your butthole.
I think the next, yeah, I know the joke you're talking about. It's like, and it announces itself like a trumpet that's in front of an army from back of the day.
It's just, and it's been hanging, and it smells because it's been hanging out next to your shit. You don't have to have a good sense of humor to laugh at a fart, but it's something along those lines. We got it, Dylan. You got to link that. I forget what it is.
What's it linking to? Oh, the Louis C.K.
It was
bit?
on the Daily Show. It was when Louis C.K. was on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Rest
Terry.
in peace. Rest in peace, Zach.
No, yeah, he's dead.
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart's dead. He's been
Man,
dead.
where would like, jeez.
People want him to be president. People want him to run for president.
I would vote for him.
I wouldn't run.
I like my politicians to be politicians.
Harry, you wouldn't run for president? No shit.
No. I wouldn't run if I was Jon Stewart. I would enjoy that I'm a beloved household name and ride off into the sunset. It's kind of like once you hit a point, it's like, why? It's
on Apple TV.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show.
It is a good show.
I like me some Jon Stewart. I like me some Jamie Oliver.
Jamie Oliver, the chef that goes into that does like Kitchen Confidential, and yeah, I like him too because he's giving young children delicious lunches that nobody can afford.
I meant Oliver Platt. I'm sorry, Oliver Platt.
Oliver Platt was in The Bear. You're thinking of John Oliver, homie.
No, he's dead.
You know who I just found out died the other day? Kobe Bryant.
No, he's alive. He just put up 81 the other day. I saw it on a highlight. I legit did see it on an ESPN highlight, like they were talking about when he put up 81 points or something. But they were definitely treating it as if it had happened that day. It was the most bizarre story. Oh, maybe that's why.
And you made that terrible joke today.
Like, come on, man. You're saying that everyone's dead.
Yeah, but
Okay, it was a bad joke. It was a
I
bad
didn't say
joke.
Kobe Bryant's dead. Jesus Christ.
Come on.
So
Don't
I
make that bad
got a
guy.
new segment. How did you get hammered?
Yeah.
All right.
I drink alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
It's-
nobody else.
I'm not hammered. It's Travers weekend and Fish is playing at Stack this weekend as well. I run a fucking restaurant. I have a long week ahead of me. We have 100,000 people coming into the city. Today's my only day. So, yeah, I had a few drinks.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking whiskey.
Whiskey.
Oh, very nice.
Cheers. Cheers. I got some lemon water with pink Himalayan salt in it.
I've had probably 6.
I had a liquid IV with caffeine.
Really?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Look,
I started using those instead of coffee. It makes you feel so much better.
I'm okay with using it in the podcast, but like, you guys know I fucking work my ass off. So like, yes, I had a few drinks today. Okay.
I don't have to feel guilty.
Yeah.
Terry, do you go someplace? Okay.
Do I go
Good.
someplace? What do you mean?
Or for your morning IV?
Oh, no, it's not an IV drip. It's liquid IV, like the powder that you put in a drink, but it's got caffeine in it. I wish I was that bougie that I was just like getting B vitamin drips every day.
I've been meaning to ask you for a long time. What's your workout routine?
So it
We're-
changes a lot. It changes a lot, but right now it's more based around
Wait,
like
back away from the microphone because you're fucking coming in hot, my man.
I shouldn't be. Should be sounding. Wait, isn't that your volume?
Yeah, just turn your volume down, dig face.
So
You're perfectly fine. Go ahead.
yeah, so
So wait. I will say this to interject real quick. This is probably like, oh man, this must have been like 10 years ago actually. You were living on Caroline Street. I was living on Caroline Street as well at the same time. Remember that? We were both part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Mhm.
You, Murph, and I, and we would go out to the like mixers and shit.
Yep.
We were the young guys.
That's awesome.
It was, it was so fun.
Man,
Like,
what a time.
yeah, like if Terry was there, I'm like, I'm there. But one
I
time,
remember just showing up at either one of your houses unannounced, wasted all the time if I needed to sleep.
oh man, that was time, man, like that was crazy. But something about I was hanging out with Wink, and who we're gonna bring up a lot on this podcast, right?
but never have him as a guest.
Never have. He just that'll make him so much cooler though. If he's never
that's
guest.
true.
Also, he'll try to just run the show the next episode, Terry. He'll be hosting.
Right.
He'll be here in this seat.
Yeah, he'll just be in Terry's seat.
I went to school for broadcasting, you know, like
Oh,
I knew that was coming.
Let's
so
avoid that.
Ortica.
no one wants to hear this, but he said we were talking about your physique. This is like 13 years ago, actually, like a long time ago. And I was like, I don't know, like I don't think Terry like works out. And Wink like punched me. Like, are you fucking like, are you stupid? I was like, I don't know. I think it's just his diet. Like Terry's just like got a good diet. Like that's
You're just a beefy.
it's like he's clearly working out. I'm like, okay. Like, all right. Terry's working out.
That's so funny. That's the most Wink thing ever. To be angry that you didn't know Terry worked out.
Yeah.
To the point where he
He's
struck
pissed.
you. He
He's like,
struck
are
you.
you fucking kidding me?
What are you
clearly
fucking
working
kidding
out.
What are you
I was
stupid?
like, okay. All right, dude. Like I guess he's working out.
What does that even mean? Does that mean like he's offended on my behalf?
No, he was mad at me.
Oh, it's just so dumb. You're just so dumb. And
He
Wink.
was dumb. Yeah.
Wink doesn't suffer fools.
How could he look like that if he's not working out? Cole.
You tell me.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, yeah, all right.
That's the most Wink story ever.
Oh,
I got a good one that
there's
I
tons.
think both of you were there.
Just outrageous anger for no reason.
Okay. All right. If we want to go there, we can probably cut it.
We got about 10 minutes left of time anyway.
So we were
That's
at like Murph's parents' house in Luther's Forest. They were like, Tom, who owned the house,
Mhm.
Michelle's husband. And we remember icing, Smirnoff Ice. Remember icing people? That was a thing.
Yeah,
Dude,
you loved it.
guys know where I'm going with this story?
Icing enthusiast. No.
Oh yeah, I loved icing. Like I was into that. I loved it. I just loved pranking people. I love surprising people. I love scaring. So I love coming out of the corner and scaring people. Like grew up doing it to my mom all the time. Like I just got a kick out of it. But so I iced Wink that one night at Murph's parents' house, and we were playing beer pong in the garage. And I feel like both of you guys were there. At least
Were we in college
no,
or was it like
no,
shortly at?
must have
Okay.
right out of college, right out of college, and Wink didn't like I iced him, and he wouldn't do it. Like so, remember when you got iced, you had to just like get on your knee and just like chug the Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a fun like game. Like it's just like nothing, like. And for some reason, he just refused to do it and made a scene. And, you know, came out into the garage and then he turned it into saying so much shit about shit that had nothing to do with the icing.
Yeah. You just pull up the most like embarrassing thing from your past.
Yeah. The most, he was saying in front of everyone shit about me. And I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. Like, he said some other shit. Like, yeah. You were there, Tom. Like, he was saying like, this is why like this girl doesn't want to fuck you anymore. Like some shit. Like, I was like, damn. Like my face got beat red. I'm like, oh my. This has nothing to do with me trying to ice you. Like,
Yeah.
You don't deserve her.
like I'm sorry. I still love you.
It's just because he was born a short redhead, right? That's just it.
I don't know, man. Like it's a lot of my family is that way. Like my mom is that way. Like a lot of my Irish family is just like that.
Just angry.
They'll pick the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah.
If in any type of argument, you're always walking on eggshells. You always got to.
That's a cheap way to fucking argue and communicate.
No, I prefer to be constructive. Like
Very.
Pete. Like Pete, if we were to call Pete.
You gotta call Pete. Well, you gotta call Luke. Call Luke right now.
All right.
It's funny. I've been sitting here thinking about how to solve a problem.
Yep.
I'm just looking at all of the cables and stuff in here and trying to figure stuff out. It's constant. Like it's all that I want to do is just make this place work and work on things.
Call Luke.
Zach, what are you always working on? Probably writing, right? Like where you just can't get enough of it.
There's nothing that
shut the fuck up.
That I can't.
So how can we loop that into a phone call right now? Loop that into a phone call? Or should I call him? Just call him. All right.
Luke, you're the one who calls.
Yeah, you got to merge it.
You got to call him, Luke.
Call? Yeah, you gotta call him.
See, let me see. I really have service. I'm also bathing my daughter right now.
All you gotta say is what's up.
Let's let Luke have the day off. I'll call Dad.
Sure.
He's gonna ask what's the matter.
Just want to see how you were.
All right, I'll call Dad.
Sure.
Hi, Larry.
What's up, Pete? How's Pete?
Call Dad.
He's be like, what the fuck do you want?
Hey, Pops, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm great.
Good.
All right. It's great to hear your voice. Have a good night.
You too.
Peace.
I mean, that was a little long for the house, Pete. I think you got caught in the moment there and really wanted to have a conversation.
Yeah, you did. You were like, Daddy, I
You
love
did it as a bit, and then it turned into something so much deeper.
It's great to hear your voice.
Daddy, I miss you so much.
And that's how Pete is.
Oh, that's so funny. Because with Luke, there's just he's just like, what's up, dude? You know?
How you doing? Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, see you later.
Emotional chicken where you both were just like, who's
You
going
guys there's something unresolved there. Yeah, you gotta have some Pete and Cole time based on what I just heard and what I saw in your eyes during that moment.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was great.
I love my dad. I love him.
I love him too.
He's a great guy. That was hilarious.
I do. I
Well, at least we got a short out of this.
That's the highlight. Oh, Terry, can we see the thumbnail?
Yeah, probably. Can you do a screen share, Dylan?
And also, this format makes Terry look like he's the host. And I gotta say, it just doesn't sit well with me.
If you get a better camera, we could talk.
We gotta get better cameras and microphones.
No, yeah, I kind of look at it like the way they do Around the Horn, where there is, Tony at the desk, and then everybody.
But there's a
comes
host.
in. Well, no, I just mean there's one good camera, then everybody else is just.
Is that why? That's why it's set up like that? Just because you're using an actual video camera?
Yeah, it's easier for us to do it, and I can cut around multiple angles and stuff like that.
Okay, but maybe if you could just make your picture the same size as ours, then I wouldn't have such a problem with it.
I could do that.
What's the problem?
Because it looks like Terry is hosting. Oh my gosh, is that? That's hilarious. You just got to change this background of this fictional town that we live in.
Yeah, but that's why I needed the headshots, and I think
I love it.
I think it looked awesome.
Yeah,
that's all to Dylan.
Then with your face.
Terry's the host. Terry's trying to sneak his way into hosting this whole thing.
Yeah. We host the whole thing. We put it out on our platform.
I don't give a fuck.
No, it's got to be all.
I tell you what. Why don't we switch the big head each episode?
Fair.
So everybody gets to be the big head.
Okay.
Cool.
No, I think it could be funny because I know.
Who's doing the Photoshop work?
Dylan's thumbnails, shorts, and long form.
Yeah.
Pays Dylan's bills.
Whose Photoshop skills are better?
Terry.
Dylan, let's see it.
No, yeah, Dylan did it. You're putting Dylan up against you. Okay.
Let's see it, Dylan. Professional.
He's working on it. Leave him alone.
It looks pretty good. I like it. I like the white outline.
Yep. So you're using what's it called? Let me see it again.
It's still up.
The background's going on me.
I can't. We're not seeing it.
What are you talking?
No, the background. We talked about it. Maybe a little aerial shot of Luther's forest, or maybe I don't know. I don't love that either, though.
I don't hate it.
I liked what we used today. We had a little purple gradient, right?
But for
Oh,
thumbnail,
yeah.
I don't know that it just
Yeah, you
like,
gotta. Yeah, so we definitely want it to
There
be
it is.
big heads and a blurry background, but we could try it with the Luther's Forest. That's actually the cul-de-sac from Ed, and Eddie on
Is that what
Cartoon
it is?
Network back in the day.
it's like
But I figured it should just be like a neighborhood because it's about old neighborhood friends. It's the Neighborhood Podcast starring fellas from the neighborhood.
so
Maybe
I
we
think
could just, instead of that, we could just take a bunch of pictures of my face and just repeat it over and over again, like a mosaic. Like,
can we just have
over and over and over. My
like
face
2 minutes of productive conversation?
Only if we call it a Colesaic.
A mosaic. You know, I love that.
Mhm. We'll get it
I'm
done.
a self-centered individual.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I don't literally look at anybody else but me this entire time.
You gotta look out for number one.
Welcome
I'm straight
to
up
welcome to staring into your own eyes for 1 hour.
into my own eyes. Here's what I was gonna say.
Sure.
I know we're just fooling around and we're figuring it out and just getting comfortable, and that's great. And I'm in no rush at all.
I know of all people, you're in no rush.
I'm in no rush. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to mean. This is why you're drunk in the middle of the day, because you make shit decisions and you don't think about what's coming next. And remember that time in 8th grade when you shit your pants?
Oh,
I didn't shit my pants in 8th grade. I actually shit my pants in. I don't think I ever shit my pants. I was gonna help you out there, but
Never. I've sharded way too many times.
I did one time. I thought I shit my pants, and I was on a car ride home from a soccer game with my dad, my brother, and my dad's truck, and we were talking about
Shitting our pants.
Luke and my dad were talking about times that they had shit their pants before. My dad has shit his pants like too many times for one human being. Like it's enough to pass it around. You know, like he could give you a shitting their pants story. But we get into the driveway, and I thought for some reason I farted, and I thought I shit my pants. I smoked weed before the car ride. You know, sometimes when you're like high, you feel like did I pee my pants or did I shit? You know, like when you're high. So
Yeah.
We get they finish the conversation about telling stories about when they like pooped their pants, and my dad goes like, I thought he was being passive aggressive, like, so Cole, you ever shit your pants? And I'm high as shit. I'm like, no. And I just ran to the bathroom, beelined it, wipe my ass, go
I
sweat.
shit my pants the last time we hung out at your place. I removed a pair of underwear and threw them into the garbage.
I remember.
at the wedding?
No.
No.
No, we were outside. We were walking.
Yeah, that's when it happened.
Yeah.
And then I got to your place and I took off said underwear and threw them into the garbage.
Oh, yeah. He said, if you find some garbage, it was.
I told you the next morning at breakfast, like, you should probably take that garbage out soon.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's what I was going to say.
Yep.
I'm in no rush. I do think I want to just keep a conscious mind of what we're building towards. And I think once we get comfortable with the rapport and the give and take and timing of it all, like more characters of ourselves, not to say that we can't be honest and do deep shit, but like in the sense of like the theme is always going to be, what the fuck is this show about? And I think all tangents should derive from that. If we should be always like hunting, searching for what the fuck this show is about. And then that's where the goofiness of somebody like, I really want the show to be this, and then we can debate, that stuff or whatever, and go down these roads.
So
I don't want
everyone,
us to start from
everyone
the
should
place.
come with something like, this is what I think the show should be about every
yeah.
week.
And you know what? Everybody text me that before the show starts. So that way it's like, it's been committed. Yeah, just text me. Here's what it could be one word, just whatever you're bringing to the table that week.
I also think Terry could play this character where he thinks he's the host, but he's not really the host.
The host with the most.
He's always trying to do host things, and we just hate him for it.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Let's thank all of our sponsors. Let's thank Rogers Back Cream for sponsoring us this week. If you want cream, that's an absolute dream. Get Rogers Back Cream.
I think it'd be cool. I think we should all write a commercial for other persons to read.
Yeah, that works.
A surprise.
That's great. Yeah.
I think it could be a surprise, but then you have to do it like very, podcasty commercially and like actually sell it. You know what I mean?
They have to be 15 seconds. It can't be like a minute long.
Ad reads.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm offended. We still haven't talked about music at all.
All right, man.
And we never will. That's going to be part of the podcast. We'll talk about that on the next episode of What Is This Podcast?
Perfect.
I'm truly offended.
Perfect. And I think, Terry, that's the goodbye moment, that like they do on Smart List where they're always searching for that goodbye.
Of the bye.
Yeah. I think that's the moment is when somebody's like, but I want to talk about this. And you hit them with since you're the fucking host, we'll pick it up next week or whatever the title is. Maybe next week, and that's when we close it.
Maybe next week on What Is This Podcast?
Maybe next week on Maybe Next Week.
Maybe next week on Zach Wishes He Was the Host.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week's my first title that I was good.
Pretty good title.
Pretty
good title.
Maybe next week or
that's not
bad. This time next week? No? Okay.
No, maybe next week is pretty good.
So what I've been thinking is like, I think we got something.
In the can. I think we got something in the can. We'll see what Dylan does in editing.
I've been walking around just like, I got this thing in my back.
Like when my boss asked me, "How's the podcast going?" I'm like,
I think we got something.
Yeah. Man, I think
I think we got something. We're De Niro now.
Day shows.
I just in the face.
This podcast.
This podcast.
I can't do it in there. Is that you gotta start it like this?
I got baby goo.
All right, we got 2 shirts. All right, I gotta cut Dylan. He's got places to be.
All right, fucking Dylan. I guess we're on your time.
That's damn right. He's our producer.
Yeah, I'm not paying him.
He's the villain.
Adios, amigos. I love you all.
Peace,
all
love
right,
you.
so let's stay in touch and have segments ready for next week.
Maybe next week.
YUNKJunk!